Hello, class. As y'all know, I'm Mrs. Leavitt. I'm your assistant principal, but I'm also a math teacher. Hi, Aiden. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're having our first Learning with Ms. Leavitt session. Are you excited? Yeah, I'm excited too. Okay, I so miss being in math classroom, so thank you so much, and thank you, Ms. Stereo, for letting me be here. And to all my fabulous math teachers, Mr. Doran and Mr. Matier, who are also letting me get in their classrooms. What we're going to be talking about today is our multiplication chart and the importance of a multiplication chart. In front of you right now, you have a blank multiplication chart, and some of you may got ahead of me and already started filling it out, but I want you to kind of just hold off on that, pay attention for a minute, and if you have one that's already done, like my friend Angel here, that looks awesome, do me a favor and just kind of put it to the side, or, oh, maybe that's somebody else that's awesome. Well, thanks, sir. Real quick, what I want us to do is I want you to watch this little video about multiplication, and I want you to be able to tell me by the end how many actual facts you need to actually memorize. Ms. Terrell, would you go ahead and click on it?
I will. Just remember, it takes a little while to come up.
Internet, don't you love the internet? All right. Well, I know y'all are actually doing some learning with your Okay, so they said you only have to learn how many? 38. 38. They said 38. And because really what they're saying is you already know a lot of them. So that they're saying that these here in the yellow right here are the ones that you have to learn. Because do you see how these here in the yellow will actually, they're the same over here, because on this line, this is 6 times 7, right? Is what? 6 times 7 is? 42. Well, right here, this is 7 times 6. So what's 7 times 6? It's still 42, right? So they're saying that these here in yellow are the 38 that you need to memorize, and you would actually know all of your times tables, 12 by 12. Do you think that's doable? Yes. Yeah? Well, I'm actually going to show you some other tricks that will help you to memorize your times tables. I see a lot of you are filling it out, even though, if you'll remember, I asked you not to fill it out. Please, please stop. Okay, so thank you. We're going to look at some other things real quick. So, have any of you ever seen the trick of the nines? Yes. Yeah. So tell me, explain to me, what is this that you see happening? Take a minute to look at what the trick is. Oh, you know what? Wait. Listen. Yeah. Andres is doing something else that I think he's learned with his fingers. Does anybody learn the 9 tricks with their fingers? Oh, yes. No? Okay, so raise your hand if you know the 9 tricks with your fingers. Okay, so all of you turn to your neighbor and show them what 9 times 7 is. Show them 9 times 7 with your fingers. I'm going to show these guys up here. Okay, so hold my fingers like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I put down the 7th finger. How many are on this side? 6. How many? 3. So what's 9 times 7? 63. Get it? Oh, I heard that. You never seen that before? Okay, so now you try it. Try 9 times 8. So take your hands out. Now you got to face them, like facing towards you. Now count to your 8th finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You put your 8th finger down. And how many are on the left side? 5. Plus the 2, so 7. And then how many on the right? 7. 2. 2, so it's 72. Is 9 times 8 72? Oh, you get it? You've seen it? Okay. So that's one way to remember your nines. But look up here. Here's another way I'm showing you to remember your nines. What do you notice is the pattern that they have here? What do you mean they're backwards? Explain more to me. Do you know place value? So what place value is this row right here, or column, excuse me. What place value is this column? Okay, so, where's my decimal at in this number? Where's the decimal hiding in the number 9? Is it in the middle of it? If I have 9 whole dollars, where's the decimal? At the end, okay? So what place value is the 9 in then? What place value is this? The number right in, if I had 9 whole dollars, I would have 9, what kind of dollar bills? 1. So what place is this at? The ones place. Class, what place is this? I can't hear you. What place is this? Ones place. So then what value is in front of the ones place? Tens. Because this would be, how many tens would I have in the 18? I would have one $10 bill, right? Because what's in the tens place? A 1. Okay, so there's one way to use money to think about place value. I always use money to think about place value. Okay? So now coming back to my friend, what's her name? Jocelyn. What do you notice about what place value is this again, Jocelyn? This red one right here, which one's this one? That's the tens place, right? So what do you notice about the tens place value? What happens? It goes from 0 all the way to 9. What happens in the ones place value? 9 all the way to 0. So it's counting backwards. And that's the same trick that works with my fingers, right? So everybody go ahead and fill out your nines column right now. So using this method, fill out your nines column. You need a clipboard. So all I have to do is write down 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then in front of it, put 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do your nines. Two, 1, 0. Now in front of that, 0. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, in the same box. You're still in the nines, right? So if you're filling it out, you have to be careful because you got to make sure it's in the same box, right? Okay, what do you notice when you get to number 11? So you have 9 times 11, and then you have 9 times 12. What happens to the digit? Where does this next digit go? This one is, does it work out here? No. Oh, for this one, that same pattern stopped working, but I wonder if there's another pattern. What's 9 times 11? 99. And then what's 9 times 12? 108, right? Hey, well, look at the ones place value. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 9, 8. Do you think maybe the ones place value will stay the same? Let's think about that one, and we're going to do some other numbers as we think about that. Everybody got their nines done? Yes. Awesome. Okay, so let's look at some other patterns. All right, we're going to talk about some other patterns that we see in the multiplication chart. Now, don't try to copy my whole multiplication chart down right now, okay? Don't get ahead of me. What I want you to do is obviously, remember when the Komodo was talking, the little people that were talking at the beginning? They said the ones are the easiest ones for you to fill out, right? So will you do me a favor and go ahead and right now you can do 1 through 12 on both sides. 1 through 12, 1 through 12. The only thing you can fill out right now, do your row and your column of ones. Go. Should take like 20 seconds or less. Only doing your ones. Only doing the ones column. That's right. Lower it. I'm still finding out how to do this so fast. Oh, I got one right here. Oh, do the ones for me. Don't go further than me. All right. So you should have your one. Oh, now you want to have your ones, your column and your row. So do y'all know the difference between a column and a row? I always get it confused, and you'll hear me get it confused. But columns, have you ever seen the White House? The White House, it has big white columns in front of it, right? And guess what? The columns, can you picture it with me? What do they stand which way? Up and down, straight up and down, right? So when I think of column, I'm talking about this straight up and down. So you should have this ones column done, and then the row goes across from side to side. So you should have this one done. You should also have your nines done, because we just talked about our nines. So we got our nines done, our column, and our row. Those are the two you should have filled out right now, right? Okay. What other ones are the super easy ones? What do they say? 5. The 10s, the 5s, and the 11s. All right, so I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do the 5s, 10s, and 11s. Go. 30 seconds, 5, 10, and 11. Dude, you got ahead of me too. I said no. Mine's 9, 5, 10, 11. That's it. Now remember, once you do the columns, don't forget to do the rows. Do the columns, do the rows. Oh, yes, and 11. You can do the 11s, right? The easy 11. Yeah, the easy 11s. Good job. I know it's tempting to go ahead of me, but I have something I'm going to show you. So that's why I'm asking you to stay with us, okay? You know what? We started with the 9s, and I should have made y'all start with the 1s first, right? Because that would have been easier, just like they did. All right. Yes. Oh, no. If you'll go ahead and just leave those two blank for right now. We'll have to do those by hand. But actually, it's up here. If you want to steal the last couple of 11s, so 11 times 11 is 121, and 11 times 12 is 132. All right? So we have the ones that they say are easy done. We have the 1s, we have the 5s, we have the 10s, the 11s, and we went ahead and did the 9s because we know the trick for the 9s now, right? Everybody okay with the trick for the 9s? Okay, so now we're going to figure out how, if we didn't have these memorized, can we fill out all the others? Well, what's the almost one of the other easiest multiplication or skip counting that we can do that we have not put down yet? 10. You think 3s are easy skip counting? 2s. Ah, 2s are the easiest. Because 2, 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate? Miss Leavitt. Miss Leavitt. Miss Terrio. Miss yes, Miss Terrio. I like that. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. And then you get brownie points there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do your 2s real fast. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So as you do that though, I want you to look at the 1s digits. look at the ones digits as you do the twos. You get your twos done?
Yes. No.
Thank you. Okay, so let's say, okay, y'all remember which one's the ones digit? Y'all remember which ones are the ones digit?
Yes.
The ones digit are the ones that would be closest to the decimal if a decimal was there for every single one of these numbers, right? Because that's my ones place value. So do me a favor, and all we're going to do is we're going to read the ones digit. Are you ready?
Yes.
2, 4, 6, 8, 0. 2, oh, you didn't do it. Just the ones digit. Just ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. 2, 4. It keeps repeating. 6, 8, 0. You would want it to do the next one, right? Okay. So even numbers are good. I like even numbers. What's 2 times 2? 4. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. Now, y'all can see here, I've already got this one filled out. Don't fill it out yet, just watch. I've already got the 4s filled out here, correct? You said 2 times 2 is 4. Do you see how in the 2's column, there's a 4? Circle that 4. Okay, I circle my 4. Well, what's 4 times 2? What's 4 times 2? 8. Is there an 8 in that same column?
Yes.
Okay, circle that 8. What pattern am I doing?
Skipping one.
I'm skipping 1, and then I say, oh, because wait, what's 4 times 2? I mean, but 4 times 2 is 8, right? And then 4 times 3 is
14.
4 times 3? Oh, wait. Hey, you just did a really good mistake for me. I appreciate it. Sometimes we skip count wrong in our head, right? Well, because I know my 2's and I can see the pattern, because 2 times 2 is 4, and then I skip 1, skip 2, come down, 4 times 2 is 8, I skip 2 more, 4 times 3 is 12, I skip 2 more, and 4 times 4 is, what's 4 times 5? 20. And what's 4 times 6? 24. So did I just use my 2's to help me find all the multiples of 4? Okay, so if I'm really bad at my 4's because maybe sometimes when I use my fingers to count, I get messed up, right? I can double check myself because I know how to count by 2's. So now, using that knowledge, fill out your 4's. So you can double check your multiplication chart. Now, wait, here's the other trick. Some of y'all, on your 4's, so to check your 4's though, remember how we found that pattern in the ones digit earlier?
Yes.
Okay, I bet there's a pattern in the ones digit on the 4's. So what's the ones digit on the 4's? 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. 4, 8, what do you think is going to happen? What did it go? 4, 8, what? 2, 6, 0. 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. So double check when you write yours. Oh, that's okay. I can't read your 4's by the time. So 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. 4, 8, 2, 6. Oh. So do you see how written like that? You actually have a 2 here instead of 4. So see, 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. Okay? So be careful. So that was a pretty common mistake my friend made up here. Right here, she had put that this was 34 instead of 36, because what did she start doing by accident? She started counting by 2's by accident. So knowing those patterns is a way to double check yourself to make sure that you're using the right thing. Okay? So Let's talk about, can we now do 8s from that though? Could we get some of our 8s? Could we start our 8s also using the 2s?
Yes.
So I'm gonna pick a different color, but I'm also gonna draw a triangle. So draw a triangle around the number 8. How many times did I move down in my multiplication chart to get to 8?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4, because what's 2 times 4? 8. So I need to move down 4 more times again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a triangle. Oh, because see, this triangle is 8 times 1. So this triangle is 8 times 2, which is 16. So then I move down how many more times again? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this would be 8 times 3. And 8 times 3 is what?
24.
24. So again, I'm filling out my multiplication chart just so far by using the numbers that I know in my multiples of 2. But hopefully you have a couple of these memorized, right? So you know that 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. What's 8 times 4? 32. What's 8 times 5? 40. And guess what, guys? Look at that. Is there a pattern again?
Yeah, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0.
So I'm going to do something real fast. I'm going to white these out. Oh, that didn't work. White them out. Okay, what you need to do? I want to white them out. Oh, here we go. I got it.
Draw your box.
No, I got it. I'm going to white these out because we're going to talk about that pattern. So let's say I forgot, I don't know my 8s, but I got it this far. Okay, so now that I have it this far though, and I know my pattern for my 1s digit, right? 8, 6, 2, 4. 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. What would the next one be? 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. 8, 6, and it would keep going, right? So now I just gotta, based on what I know about my multiplication, I gotta remember, okay, what's the 10s digit? Well, what's the only thing that makes sense for this to be right here if I'm adding 8? It's 40. 8 times 5 is 40. So what do you think 8 times 6 would be? 48. 48. It would make sense to be 58 or 38, would it?
No.
No, not based on what I know about numbers. So then now it goes to 6. So 8 times 7 is what? 56. Oh, can it be 52? No, it can't be 52 because that doesn't work within my pattern, right? But those are some of the common mistakes. So knowing these patterns helps you be able to find those common mistakes that we make a lot. Okay? Now, could the answer to this next one be 54? Would that be logical? Would my multiplication chart go from 56 to 54? It's got to be 64 because remember, I'm counting up. I'm getting bigger. So the next logical thing is 64. And we should know that 8 times 8 is? 8 times 8 is what? What's 8 times 8? 64. Okay? And so then what do we have next? 72, 80, 88, and 96. Okay? So when you start to notice the patterns and see how they work, you can figure out the other ones. So using that pattern trick, I want you to try to do the 12s. So go ahead right now and try to do your 12s. Okay. Did it? Okay. So wait. How do you know the 8 cents pattern?
Why are you putting it down?
How do you guys?
No.
No, that's See, you're totally like. So I'm struggling with my 12s and I don't remember how to do them. I'm struggling with my 12s. I think, I've never done this before, so I'm learning from Miss Leavitt too. And I think if I was doing my 12s, I would go back to my 4s, like she did from the 2s to the 4s. I think I would go to my 4s. And then, like, 4 times what is 12? 3. Yeah. So maybe if I circled every third one, because that's the pattern she used before, right? And maybe that would, oh, wait.
But we haven't even done it.
Oh, you haven't put the 3s on there, right? So, and that's when y'all need to tell me, because look, I forget that you did your 4s, right?
Yeah.
So, but with your 4s, look, you get the first 4. 12, 24, 36, 48. And then you can kind of figure out your pattern, maybe. Because hopefully, that gives you the first 4. What's 5 times? Oh, you should. Oh, guys, you got the first 4. You should already have 5 times 12, right? Look at your columns of 5s. What's 5 times 12? 60. So if you have the pattern from here to here, can you now figure out the ones digit? It should say 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. Oh, this one happens to go back in order 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. You're starting all the way over. So Aiden, you were right. Now you're gonna put in the front ones. Oh, I was talking to Aiden. Okay. So we never went back and did the 3s. Are y'all good with 12? Now, obviously, the cheat sheet's up here, so you got them right. But so tell me my pattern, boys, for the 12s. What is it again? What's the pattern? 12. Thank you, Israel. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, right? So we never did our 3s. So let's go back and do our 3s. So you just have to memorize your 3s. You should hopefully have them memorized. Can anybody say them without looking? You can? Go.
3, 6, 9, 12, 13.
That's good. And you got all the way to 6. All right. Anybody go further? 2. Without looking. She got them all right. Good job. Huh? No, she didn't. Okay, so y'all, I gave y'all time to already have all your 3s written down if you don't already. So, yeah, I try to do that. Every moment is another moment to make you work. Okay, so if you have your 3s, could you get your 6s from your 3s? Okay, I'm not going to do it on the board. What I want you to do is I want you to circle, using your 3s column, circle all the 6s. Using your 3s column, circle the 6s. So if you circle every 1, 2, the next one. So you're circling all the multiples of 6. Circle all the multiples of 6. Oh, you found it now. No? So look. 6, now we go with 6. The multiple of 6. I took the wrong words. The 1, 2. Now what do you mean?
That's all of it. And then it's 6 and 7.
No, because that's 6 and 3. That's 6 and 4. 6 and 5. 6 and 6. So now do you see how you can get your 6s? Okay. Now you can fill out your 6s, right? So you can use your 3s to fill out your 6s. Could you get any other numbers from your 3s? You can get all kinds of numbers from your 3, guys. I could get 12s from my 3s. Here's 12. 12. How many did I move? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 24. 1, 2, 3, 4. 36. Those are the same ones. It just takes me longer to get there because I'm in the 3s column, and 3 times 4 is 12. Okay. So, but hey, I could do 15 if I wanted. 15s are easy, but I can just prove it. 15. What's the next one after 15? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 times 2 is what? 30. So all I'm doing is proving to you how this works, right? Well, is there anything going on with the ones digit in the threes? Anything going on with the ones digit? Let's say the ones digits out loud. Ready? What does it say? 3, 6, 9, 2. Chat. Let's try again. 3, 6, 9, 2, 5, 8, 1, 4, 7, 0. 3, 6. Oh, wait. There's 3, 6. What do you think the next one's going to be? Okay, let's see if we're right. This is going to get really small here. It's working. Being slow. Okay, so I know it's really small, but some of my people up here can help me. Watch. 3, 6, 9, 2, 5, 8, 1, 4, 7, 0. 3, 6, 9, 2, 5, 8, 1, 4, 7, 0. Did it just repeat all the same numbers? Yes. So this one repeated every 10 times. The even numbers repeated every, was it 6? Let's go back. How many did it take to repeat for the evens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it started over with the 2 again, right? Yeah. So the odd numbers repeated every 10 times. The even numbers repeated every 5 times. And wait, all the even numbers, they only use even numbers in the ones digit, don't they? 8, 6, they use the same 5 numbers over and over and over again. But in the ones column for the threes, you actually have to use all the numbers 1 through 9. 0 through 9, just like you had to do with the 9s earlier, right? Kind of how they showed you in this visual. See how it had to use all the numbers 0 through 9 right here before it repeated? This one just happens to be in a good order, right? Okay, so with some of them, with these, you use it, but it's just a different order, but then it starts over and it repeats. So when you're getting into having to do a lot of multiplication and writing all down, it's easier to write your multiplication facts down versus doing them in isolation. Okay? So the only ones we don't have is 7s, right? But most of these 7s, we've already filled out somewhere on here. If you look. Maybe if you look across your row or across your different columns, you have some of the 7s already filled out because you did almost all of the other ones. So the whole point of knowing your multiplication tables and seeing how they work together is so that when you get into algebra and to geometry later on in high school, and you're having to factor trinomials and binomials and pull apart different equations. You need to know your multiplication facts because you need to know how the numbers work together. Okay? Y'all have any questions so far? How many of you had like an aha moment looking at the different multiplication, the different way of looking at the multiplication table? You know what that means? Like an aha moment? Kind of like where you're like, okay, this kind of makes more sense to me now.
Or I never saw that pattern before.
You found a pattern that maybe you hadn't seen before? No. Yes, what? You didn't know that you could do that? You either? Cool. You like that trick? Awesome.
Never.
Well, there's actually a lot of other really cool things that you can do with the multiplication chart. And you can even simplify fractions with them.
Did y'all know that?
Did you know you can simplify fractions with them? No?
Pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Now that you have your multiplication chart filled out, do we want to go ahead and do that? But can we start a new one?
Sure can.
Okay, we're going to do this really fast. But first, I need to